Hi everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Power of Knowing Forums LinkedIn Live podcast 120th today. Today we are having the honor of having Dr. Barat, who has started his career as a recruiter and has gone up the ladder to bring up his own organization called Transway Limited, and he's established this company across India, Middle East, Africa, and Malaysia regions. And he's been an headhunter by himself as well there. And his company Transway is listed on the stock exchange as well. Without further ado, let's bring Dr. Barat onto our show and have the discussion on exploring careers beyond big MNCs and brands. Welcome, Dr. Barat, to our show. Thank you for accepting our show and welcome to the show. Sir, let's start with you. Have any thoughts to start with, sir, or I jump in right to the discussion?
First, I'd like to thank you for bringing me back for your, I'm and on the 120th episode.
Yeah.
And today topic is very close. So hope I,
Okay.
my journey. I'm going to share my journey here, and it will help many youths over there, and also the people from a big MNC planning to move into a smaller organization. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that, sir. What inspired you to explore opportunities beyond traditional MNCs and brands? Okay. And how has that decision shaped the professional journey so far?
I'm fortunate that I did not get opportunity in national companies. If I have got one,
Okay.
I don't think I would have achieved. So yeah, smaller
Okay.
company. Yeah, there the smaller company faces a lot of challenges, and also it was a learning edge for me, more than what I learned
Mhm.
in the actually. So that paved my way,
Okay.
to whatever I am today.
So can you share some specific challenges that you faced while working in small organizations or startups, and how did we overcome that? So,
Working in a smaller companies, the biggest challenge is lack of funds.
mm,
Like MNC companies, that's not have to adjust resources whatever we have, and we have to show the performance. That is the main. What you learn out of this is like face the challenges. Tomorrow, you might go on your own, or you might go to a different company. The company give you an opportunity, to face many challenges. The people who stay and face these challenges successfully are the one who will be very successful than the people who join the multinational company. You're not audible.
sorry, I was on mute. Sorry about it. For the freshers,
Okay.
predominantly, they think when they get into the larger
Okay.
MNCs or brands, they feel it is a big achievement. What advice would you give to freshers considering a small organization
Yeah.
instead of an MNC?
Very, very good question, Mr. Prem. If we overcome this, I think we can reduce
Hmm.
the unemployment ratio very significantly. So, I
Okay.
mean, how many freshers attending the session, but whoever are attending, they can convey this to the freshers also. Any youth or any fresher in the career, within 6 months
Okay.
of the career, if they don't find a job, they that frustrated leads to a lot of social problems. Here we are, addressing two problems. One is the moment somebody gets into a job, their social status also will improve. They start focusing on the career. The moment 6 months, the batch of the fresh graduates going to come into the market, and these other fresh graduates are not considered as fresh graduates anymore. What
Hmm.
the biggest mistakes the students are the freshers doing here? They all wanted to join a big multinational company. I'm not against people joining a multinational company. It has its own advantages and disadvantages also. Let us talk, be positive.
Hmm.
Yes, few people are more fortunate that they get a job in multinational company through campus interview, or by applying directly, or through employer referral, or through some relative. Somebody will get, out of 100 people, let's take that, 20 or 30 people will get a job in multinational company. Rest of the people, more than 50%, they feel that, they should also get. They keep trying. They should not. They should try a month or two, and immediately they should get on to this. They should identify. There are multinational companies. There are companies. Okay. So then they have to taper down. They have to taper down. Identify few multinational companies. They should identify smaller companies. Coming to work wise, there is absolutely no different. Multinational company do the similar job in a different platform, same job in a smaller platform. But for an individual, learning remains the same, right? For such people, they should pick the only criteria what these days the freshers are looking is the salary part. They always wanted a big salary, which smaller company cannot afford. Bigger company can afford you the money, but they cannot afford you challenging work. You don't have a challenge, you be there. Okay, everything is defined. You just go follow what is defined. But in a smaller company, it is not defined. They will, work culture. They pay less, but they give you more work to do, more quality work to do, more challenges at you. But at one point of time, the person who has joined multi company immediately after his graduation, you can compare them after 5 years. The person who joins a multinational company, after 5 years, you see the person who's joined a smaller company will be occupying a better position. You will be having, right, compared to this guy. We can have a case study on this. People can go do the market research in the market. Today internet is available, at your disposal. So this is where the freshers are doing mistake. They should not waste their time. They should immediately pick up some small companies and work. This is every fresher. Yeah, so this will reduce an unemployment. Like people say, people talk about unemployment in your country, but yes, new jobs are not getting created, but it's okay. I mean, every country is facing that problem. But what about there are smaller companies, they are not getting people. They're not getting people. They're struggling to get people
Hmm.
because these youths are not ready to go and join a smaller company, and end of the day they be unemployed, and smaller companies this sure that everybody will be very successful, Mr. Prem.
I take that, Dr. Barat. I also have the same opinion that people should start looking at starting somewhere and
Yes,
moving up the ladder in terms of, see, as you rightly said,
ladder.
6 months, 6 months of no work, then you're not considered as a fresher. That becomes another challenge.
Yes,
And people would consider the freshers, and
yes,
most of the times, freshers are also, we were talking in one of the other episodes where we were talking about how to have people ready when they come out of colleges. So people are ready with the skills, but how do they adopt? This is one of the topic that came out saying that they should start not looking at large organizations to see how the process is set and they get a kind of a job, they go do their work and they settle down there. But if they try to do something like what you said in smaller organizations, their exposure is much better. their growth is much better, is what I also got to understand from many of the talks that we've been doing over this podcast. So, great point there. How can freshers identify growth opportunities in small companies that might not be visible as or well defined for MNCs? Now, MNCs say this is a drive that is there. This is where you have a walk-in. There are openings to do that. But how do we look at the smaller companies saying that this is the requirement I have, and how do they reach these freshers?
Very simple. They should start at the level. They only invite
Okay.
people, the resource person from a big multinational companies. Okay.
Hmm.
Now the
Hmm.
college also should identify the company in the similar domain, and they should
Okay.
invite people from a smaller companies also to the colleges as a resource people. The first level
Hmm.
introduction happens. Okay, then the students will be aware.
Okay.
Okay, the XYZ multinational company is also doing the same job.
Hmm.
The ABC company is also try for a bigger platform. If I don't get a to play on a bigger platform, I'm okay still. You know, the best example I can tell you today, if everybody test matches and an international cricket, and they'll say no, I will not play T20, right? So just like a T20 employment, it's not about the sports only, right? Today, this particular style of
Hmm.
sports has opened up. We are knowing kabaddi, we are knowing coco. Today, the whole world know about kabaddi. The whole world know about coco. No, which we used to play in
Yeah.
in our streets today. The college should play,
Yeah.
invite the people, and what the issues the students has to do in the student life. I know they significantly. Today internet is not a
Yeah.
something which is not available in your palm. It's always available in your palm, right?
Yeah.
So which is not rightly used. Majorly it is used for Instagram or a Facebook, or a reel. Somebody has done a audience here. You are watching, scrolling one by one. You are making
Yeah.
that person who's made a reel famous, and but you are wasting your time. How you are becoming famous by spending, right? So do it. I mean, entertainment is also very important in the life. I'm not telling you always glue and what you're studying and worry. No, nothing like that. So now you scroll the reels which is related to your career, related to employment. There are so many people who does reels on the career also, right? Now you
Yeah.
ask me a
Yeah.
question is visible what they want, but the smaller companies opportunity is not visible, right? It is definitely visible. Every smaller company, even they also have an access to the net. They post it everywhere. But we should have the patience of searching. Let them use an internet search,
Hmm.
saving that. If I'm done MBA HR, now I will search, okay, recruitment companies around my location. You get so many
Okay.
recruitment companies. I wanted to work in some CA firm. Okay, search CA firms near me. You get
Hmm.
so many CA firms. List out, make an Excel sheet. And somebody manufacturing companies around me. You get so many manufacturing companies there. Okay, you need not have to step out to any market or any industrial area. Nothing. Sit in the computer. You browse it. You will find everything. Then start reaching out to them. They will
Hmm.
appreciate actually. Start reaching out to them. Tell them, MBA HR, or I done my MBA finance, or I'm a diploma mechanical guy. Please give me a job. Salary is not a criteria. I wanted to work. This is my skill.
Hmm.
In that way, they can identify the companies very, very easily. Actually, identifying a big multinational company and reaching out to them is very difficult. They don't respond.
Hmm.
You send 100 emails to them, they don't respond because they also have a load. A smaller company, they will respond. This
Yeah.
is what we are missing it here. So people should use the internet effectively, make an Excel sheet, in their criteria, your friend might be working in a smaller company, your relative may be working in a smaller company, your seniors may be working in a smaller. Get to know all those data, start reaching out to them. I will 100% I'll give assurance that everybody who does this will get a job.
Wonderful. Sir, we have four people joining us. Would you like to have their questions right now, or we'll finish our discussion, then bring them on podium? How do you would like to have?
We can take the questions alternatively. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring
If the question is
Chaitra.
relevant to whatever we
Hmm. Yeah, I'll bring Chaitra here. Hi, Chaitra.
okay.
Welcome to our show. You can ask your question. Hello.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, Bharat, sir.
Good evening.
So I
Yeah, go
would
ahead.
like to ask Bharat, sir, as you said, if we join on like smaller company, so how would be the career growth over there, sir? I would like to know like career growth.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Chaitra, you're
I'm
there?
done with the question.
Yes, it's there.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Chaitra,
I'm done with the question, sir.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
is not many companies hierarchy is not defined it properly. Okay, as you have a hierarchy defined in a multinational company. So in a smaller company always wanted their people to grow to the next level until unless the person the employee shows that multiple talent multiple skill you know so they won't be an opportunity for them to grow strength and to convey to the management. It should be visible, convey in the sense not directly going and asking that okay, I have this skill, promote me. Now for example, if I take an example of a promising skill of team management or a client management, a recruiter always can grow into a client management, business development, like this, you need to grow. And in a smaller company, one cannot say that I will not do this, I will not do that. The opportunity comes, they have to accept and show the result there, and automatically such people will be promoted and there will be a career growth there. Hope I answered your question. If you have any specific thing, you can question me, or you can give your own example.
Yes, sir. You have answered my question. It's clear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, I think what question that Chetra asked is also again relating to people think that there is no growth in a small organization the way things get listed out in larger organization. But I would like to say my career also started with a small training organization. So I started as a system admin then, and over the period, as you rightly said, there were a lot of things that we had to do multiple pockets. We had to do a system admin job, then we had to look at some other pieces of work that was there, and we started getting into overall understanding how an operations run. Then we get into a different roles, we take up different responsibilities as we grow in that organization, and we that's how the whole structure is there from a small organization. Whereas in a large organizations, my understanding says is that you get into a role, you scale in that role only. Shifting between one role to another role takes a lot of time. What is your thought on it, sir?
Yeah, that's a very good question, sir. So I'll tell you, a smaller company, only when the promoter has a vision. If the promoter doesn't have a
Hmm.
vision to grow, if a if the promoter idea of scaling up his business, don't work for that company, quit. There is always a door open. If you personally feel that
Yeah.
I'm not growing in this particular organization, go discuss. And if you feel that I did that, the company where I was working, my last company, I was not growing. Now the position which I remained in the same position, and there was no idea of scaling the business from the promoters. So then that was a
Hmm.
dead end for me, right? I
Okay.
quit. I joined. I remained in the same position, right? But I helped the company to grow a bigger, scale up the company. But there is no dead end for the scale up. Sky is the limit. For me, I'm a very ambitious guy, right? I have to grow out of the me. And I had two options. One, I have to join
Yeah.
other company, or I have to start on my own. I picked the later one. I started on my own. And see, if you ask me about out the small club, I started from home with one rental computer in the year 2007.
Hmm.
From home, I started working, and the performance made me to grow so bigger. We were around 100 plus employees pre-pandemic. We're 100 plus, and I did not
Okay.
stop my growth within India. I started India
Hmm.
semiconductor. I'm more into a semiconductor recruitment. In
Okay.
India, it's a software, 7D software. There's no artist country. So then I decided I'm only a software guy. When will I supply semiconductor? When will I work manufacturing side of the hardware? Then I chose Malaysia.
Hmm.
Malaysia is of completely fabs there. I went and opened my office in Malaysia. Then I got a client from hardware side. So if people ask me in semiconductor which area you
Okay.
work, I work completely both hardware, right? So then I started South Africa. Now I'm in UAE also, right? I have a vision. I look forward for my people to grow bigger. I have given them option to Dubai. Do you want to go to South Africa? Do you want to go to Malaysia? But unfortunately, nobody is coming forward. So that is where it is not that there is a growth in smaller organization, but only your vision and the founder vision has to align. And for the
Okay.
people to grow, it is not 4 bar 7. It has to be 24 bar 7. It is not 8 hours job. If you want to grow, if you want
Yeah.
to make successful career, then it has to be 24 bar 7 work style.
No, the point is, the more you add, the more you grow, is the point that we should understand that when you start in smaller and
Simple.
the more effort you put in while you start the career, you'll understand much things faster, is what I understand. With that, I think we'll get Kalavati, who's there as this one audience here. Kalavati, can you ask your question to Dr. Bharat?
Hi, Bharat. Okay.
Hi.
I look up to Bharat as my mentor, and yeah, I as he rightly said, I myself can give you an example that I have worked in corporate in
Mm-hmm.
organizations, and then I joined hands Bharat, and I'm associated as a director in Bharat's organization. I could see the shift.
Okay.
I could see the difference because in corporate, the kind of experience I had was like everything was uh, on your platter. So, but
Okay.
here I used to like think that what is happening here, like for every small thing. So Bharat just said that everything is on the table. You just have to pick it up and create your puzzle, create your own puzzle,
Yeah.
right? And uh, the kind of confidence that he goes with, and the same thing is being instilled to the every individual, even a recruiter or a fresher who joins into the organization, or the senior person who comes into the organization. They have been they have been treated on the same level. So I have been really, it's a wonderful journey that I have been, being part of this team and this leader, where even I have not stopped myself like, okay, this is what I should be doing. But as I said, it's spread out, and it's up to you how you want to really pick it up and take it. Today I can proudly say that I have created a brand for myself. So
Okay.
Kalavati has become a brand, and all the credit has to go to Bharat
Wonderful.
and the team.
Yeah. So I think what you are saying, Kalavati, is that it is the right opportunity, right mentor and a guide who can drive your this one also makes a lot of difference when it is small organization, because
Yes.
in large organizations reaching to these kind of people at that level also is not possible, right?
Yes.
And I think that's the way that you have got through, Dr. Bharat, going through jointly understanding how the pitfalls are there, how do we look at, and you rightly said is that pick up all the pieces which is available there and you can build up your own space. Yeah, that's a great one. We also have Harsha. We'll bring Harsha onto the call. Harsha, hi.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, myself,
Go
Harsha,
ahead.
Hi, Harsha.
Yeah, so to add on, hi, Bharat, hi, Kala.
Go
So
ahead, sir.
myself, Harsha Pragada. So basically, I'm from the staffing industry from past 14 to 15 years. So it's great to have me having this call to understand the things exploring the career opportunities, how to take input and insights from from Bharat and the mentors who are here. So it's a transforming career for me to understand the things challenges in the staffing industry generally going on. So I would like to hear more inputs and insights, or how we can take up the things, any roadblocks are there, so how we can knock the door and everything. So I want to understand so a few more things to in this meeting. So just joined for not to know more about the this call. Yeah.
Any specific question, Harsha?
Questions. As I said, so I'm no questions as of now, but I joined in the middle, so I had to finish up the client call. So I joined in the
Yeah,
middle, so probably I'm looking for it. So if I have any things, I can put it in the chat, or I can take it from there.
sure.
I'll go
Okay.
on. I'll listen what the things going on in the call. So let me
Sure,
know.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I am moving Kala and this one to the dashboard again so that we have a right screen of Mr. Barat. Anything that is there, you can ping us on the chat. We'll bring you back onto the screen. Hope that works for you guys. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. But from mid-level professionals, what skills are most valuable, and what are, when making move from MNC to smaller, possibly less structured organization? How do you look at that question? Because
See, as
people
I
going
already
into an MNC,
mentioned,
then moving to a smaller organization is little a question that they always have a doubt, right? How do we
I,
look at that?
yeah, this is a very tricky questions actually. See, it has to be a homework done. Even the promoter, before taking a person
Hmm.
from a multinational company, he should roadmap. If he's
Yeah.
open for an idea, then only he should hire the people from the bigger company. So
Hmm.
the people who come to my organization should only listen to me. Whatever I say is the final. Then that is going to be disaster. Smaller company, they've struggled and they move to a level, and now they feel that one senior company comes into the organization, he will make magic. Okay, when a
Hmm.
company magic doesn't work, right? So now coming to the
Right.
senior guy who worked in a multinational company. For him, before deciding to go into the smaller company, he should be very clear. He should ask a very clear cut question saying that how are you placed when it comes to funds? What is your,
Hmm.
where you want to grow, how much you want to grow, what is your current strength? The SWOT analysis is very important here. When the people from a multinational company goes into a small organization, because in multinational company the people have got used to work on the formal work culture, which is all well defined. The tool is there, driven, but unlike, it's not like that. If you are ready to take up all these challenges, sometimes you have to step down from your level and do something. Ego doing that, then again it's a disaster, right? So then these are the challenges. These are the challenges which normally also it is a frustration for the voter also, right? If you're coming here without building anything, without understanding the system, only try to put the rules and regulations, right? Not only the business will suffer, the people who are there in the company will also suffer, right? You have to take a step, understand the culture of this company. There is a need to change, you change straight away. If you try to bring the multinational company qualities into a smaller company, then it is very difficult for the already asset to the organization will suffer big time. And I am a personal evidence for that. Where even I tried people from a multinational companies at a level of CEO and general manager from a very bigger company, and it was a disaster to me. Then what happened? Then I have to read the whole thing to retain my people who day and night stood with my organization. They all got frustrated. I know. Then we have to redo the whole thing. Then I understood it has to be a move. Okay, should be happy and they should be happy. They should come, and this is what the biggest challenges the other side, the smaller company promoters also face, and the people who are blaming them. I'm not blaming them. Not you have to do enough homework. Challenges are there. Challenges are there both in bigger companies. Smaller company challenges are pretty bigger compared to the bigger companies, right? So if they understand these challenges, and it's going to be a smooth move. Otherwise, it's going to be tough for them also.
So, when unique leadership, what unique leadership challenges do you face when smaller companies are compared to MNCs, and how do we address them?
Major problem is resources, Prem. As we discussed in the second question, people are not right. So that is a bigger challenge, and you want to do scale up, right? You need both people as well as funding. Getting a business is easier. Executing becomes a little tougher. Yeah, because of the resource crunch. Major challenge any smaller companies think this can be mitigated, if the fresher shows interest, opportunities which are available in the smaller companies, and it's definitely a mutual growth for both the parties. This is the resource is the biggest challenge I see. The expectations are very high, the performance is very low, right? So they don't understand, right? And there is amount of emotions also among the employees, right? You cannot do that hire and fire method. You cannot use that at smaller companies. First of all, there is a crunch of resources joining them. Otherwise, in a multinational company, it's them and tell them you're not doing this. So, they'll hire new people because there are a lot of people standing in the queue to join them. Or they have their own resources to bring the people, right? So, but in a smaller organization, that so it's like a family. Smaller organization is always like a family, and few people understand and work, few people they don't understand, then that becomes a bottleneck organization to grow. Yeah, this is a resource is a biggest
I
challenge in this
completely
model.
agree for what you are saying. A small team has larger connect. They know what is happening in the organization,
Yeah,
and the connect on a mutual. It becomes more a family, as you rightly said. They talk in and out of projects. Personal connect is also there. They bring bonding in such a way that Some of them people have become family members also in real, and they start connecting at a personal level also, right? So that is a very good thing that happens in small organizations. Whereas large organizations, there are these team meetings and stuff. That is where then they talk. Otherwise, it is more of not kind of a connect itself at many other places when you go into large organizations. What strategies can senior executives employ to ensure sustainable growth in smaller companies?
See, the senior people who move into a smaller organization, the people who come from the existing revenue of the company without damaging the existing performance, without damaging the existing style of the company, they should start implementing, especially on the competencies. The smaller to grow, not to manage what is happening already, because that will be managed even without him or her, right? So now, when a senior company organization, first thing what you do is to understand his core competency, where he can embed that into the already existing system. No, you should not go away and clean up the existing system. Okay, now I will build the new system into the company. No, that doesn't, right? So you should understand his core competency, and you should understand the core competency of the company, try to align with that and try to implement, because there are a thick skinned people in a smaller company. They don't allow another senior, because a lot of insecurity running in the employees. The moment a senior person comes into the organization, they don't take it positively. Okay, my company will, I'm also benefited of it. Okay, because as I told you that it's a smaller company, everybody knows everybody, and emotionally connected people. I always wanted them to grow. See, these seniors who comes into the organization should create such an environment. The other people should feel that, okay, I can learn from this gentleman, right? And career also. The senior person who comes should always invest in talent development. That is very crucial. The thing. Okay, he is expert in some area. Using that his skill, he should develop the talent which is already existing in the then contribution what these senior people who join the organization, market diversification, right? So they can't see the existing what's happening in the company businesses. Okay, this, how can I diversify the business and bring in more revenue to the organization, right? So these are the things. For if this company is expert in particular, can we start a training and bring in more revenue to the organization? Okay, now they are very good in India. We are working in multinational companies. Company is there in other country also. Can I talk to them? Because we already connected to one company in India, based out of India, and this same company has got a branch outside India. So can I ask these people to connect us over there? So now I have come inside the company. Can I start another branch outside India? Anyhow, India is running. Now I wanted to scale up this. So then what happens? Now people feel very happy that, okay, now the company is diversified, rather than what is existing, bring something new to organization, right? End of the day, the result matters, right? And adaptability. You should come with the agility. That is very important. Staying agile and adaptable is very, very important. If he feels that and all you people have to listen to me, nobody will listen. You should sync up with the system. You should sync up. Now you're no more national company. You are a representative. You should make sure that you have to search ways to fit it.
I think what you're saying is that
the culture
you should act based on. No, I think what you're saying is when you come into the size of organization, you need to look at the parameters that you are talking and the boundaries that you are touching at the moment. And because in a large organization, the map is set saying that this is where you will talk, this is where it is set. Now, in the smaller organizations, if you see a skill set that you can expand and bring it up to a larger extent, as you rightly said, look at a training, because if you are an expert in certain things, and look at a company which is there and other countries, how do we look at helping them? There is one question which has come
Yes.
up. I'll bring it onto the screen. He says, "Sir, I am well qualified person with MBA in finance and LLM in criminology, but a small city in Varanasi. How and in what field
Yeah,
can I
India.
get well? Please guide."
Okay. Amar, I mean, me sitting in the Bangalore, definitely I comment on what's happening coming to the job market. But considering, my experience, what I feel is like, I mean, there are a lot of opportunities available online, where you make a,
Hmm.
help companies to make a documents in, criminology, right? So finance, or if you need to decide where you wanted to go, whether you have to work on MBA finance, you have to use that as a career path, or you will that. Okay, so if you don't have an opportunity in Varanasi, right, then you have to move on. You have to move to a city, where you and learn the things. And when you say that there's a scarcity in Varanasi, but just imagine you coming out to a big metropolitan, and after 5 years you're going back and starting a company in Varanasi, and giving an opportunity to your own people in Varanasi. And always connect, Amar. I can also do some homework on Varanasi market, and I can help you, right? I can help you how to, file. So we can always, let's connect offline, Amar, and I'll be more than happy to help you in that.
So I am bringing up Dr. Bharat's profile on LinkedIn on the scroll here. You can reach to him and have a connect on LinkedIn and see how it can be taken. Arun, Amar, sorry. Yeah. We have another person called Shekhar who's joined us. Shekhar, your question, please. Welcome to the podcast. You can have your question to Dr. Barat.
Hi, Mr. Bharat. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Hello.
I come from a
Yes.
I come from a design background, and so my question to Bharat is, uh, how do people from a smaller town can get into not just design, any industry as such, with minimal qualification, or some might even have uh, issues with their own confidence itself. How can somebody build confidence as well as look for opportunities from smaller towns? Thanks.
Very, very good, very valuable question. I really love question actually. The need of an hour. If the smaller town people are very talented, but very shy people. I will, but because I have interacted with a couple of rural kids, they're really very good and very the city people. So Shekhar, what they have to do is they have to reach out to somebody in the family, a friend circle, and get connected to a counselor, a good career counselor, by their aptitude. Through the counselors. Once they identify their aptitude, if they're, because if they fail identifying their own aptitude, help of a career counselor, and then from there on, they should develop the skill. There are many government programs, for skill development programs. They should take up some of the skill development program. And similar, there is no difference between whether it's a rural person or the person. But only thing is the approaches changes. We have seen very successful people coming from rural and becoming celebrities today. So they have to be very open. They have to take that step. They have to reach out to the colleges, to reach out them to get the counseling done. And accordingly they have to reach out to the industries. And I think that is where the career starts. I don't see much difference between the approach of urban and a rural kid. They have to come
I'll
out.
add to what
They have to be vocal. Say,
but I can add one point here, as you said. See, the, it is about not about the kid from rural or urban. You have the talent, you'll have to explore because the market is wide open. It is not the same thing like what was earlier, is what I think is. So because internet is available everywhere, you are able to browse and look at what is the trends happening. Now you have trends that are happening in each city for even a dress that is happening. That's the way we have technology. What is trending, what kind of a dress is trending in a city is one thing that is happening. What are the industries that are flourishing around that city are much. See, now everybody is not going into the IT sector. Earlier, it was only the IT sector. Now it is not that way. It is more about manufacturing. People are into their own business. They are into cultivation now. People have started looking at agriculture as also as an employment at the moment, right? So there are a lot of opportunities now. Looking at designing, or look at around your city and see what are the opportunities which you can build or come out as what Dr. Barat rightly said is look at for something, start up something there, like what he was giving an advice to Amar in the previous question. You should look at where you can bring up your skill and start looking at the area that you are working also, right, Bharat?
can add one more point here to answer this. Can play a very important role
Yeah.
here. Colleges. People like you, people like me should go to the colleges. There we have to address this problem. We should tell them, hey, don't get scared. All right, you are more
Hmm.
intelligent than the rural kids. If we help skill and the confidence level, so then I think outperform. College can play a very important role, and government also can play a role. They should come up with a lot of initiative schools or rural schools and colleges. These days, sorry to say this, colleges are busy collecting the donations. Like become very fancy. I think one or two people get a job and they'll make that as a big thing. That our students got a job here, there, and all those things. But they should help every student to get a job, right? Every student to be very confident. Every student's aptitude to be tested. This if this is improved, Shekhar, this infrastructure is improved. I think there won't be any difference in urban kid. I
Shankar,
answered
hope your
your
question is
question.
addressed.
Yeah, thanks, Bharat and Prem. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Going ahead, what current industry trends should professionals be aware when considering shift from the MNCs to the smaller firms?
Okay, this is another very important segment actually. These days, I see the shift. Okay, so if the person comes with an entrepreneurial spirit, okay, that
Hmm.
multinational company employee who is working a big company and who wanted to move a company, the first quality which highs people, he should have an entrepreneurial spirit. That is there,
Okay.
he can make wonders in a smaller company, right? And the close customer relationship. There are no certain things like he has to be flexible, has to be there, and you should have customer relationship has to be be really marvelous. Definite quality, then the collaborative culture, you should have that collaborative culture. And if you think that is a risk appetite, right? So if you can take a risk,
Hmm.
that appetite, if it is not there, then the insecurity problems will start. If you ask that risk taking appetite, then if somebody is having move into the smaller companies and drive it very successfully. If not this, then again that is going to be disaster on both the side.
Yeah, I definitely agree to what you are saying. See, when you are looking at a small company, it is kind of your own company. There are a lot of things that we started to discuss in the start of the session, where you have multiple pockets of work that comes in when you are in small organization, and you get an overall experience in terms of handling customers, technical issues, some of the operational issues, some of the physical security issues, yeah, some of the HR related issues. Also, at times you get into a place where you talk and find out these are the challenges from the employees, and you will be in a position to relate at most of the times. Taking that question, moving from smaller companies may encounter several common pitfalls. What are those, and how do we look at?
The major challenge is, limited resources. You know,
Okay.
I mean, see, to answer, many smaller companies won't be having HR department only.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here what happens in a
True.
multinational company, the culture is handled by HR. A problem comes, HR BP or someone will come and they will handle it. But here, many
Mhm.
smaller companies won't be having it, right? So that operator will be doing the HR activities. Sometimes that one guy will be taking care of finance, some guy purchase and HR,
Yeah.
PR, and everything. Just should accept this. This is for the smaller companies. What they can encounter, the challenges they encounter is like, one is limited resource, second is structured environment, lacking there, and scope of responsibilities. It is not defined.
Define.
Okay, this is your responsibility. Come morning 9 o'clock, you have to expect the surprises the day you come,
Mhm.
because that surprises will will upset you. The surprises will upset you. I've heard many people who moved into smaller organizations. This is not there in this company, that is not there in this company. No, stop blaming. You need to build, right? Now if everything is there, then
Yeah.
this is not called a smaller company. It will be a medium size or a bigger company. Now your career progression, as I said, I forgot the name of a lady who asked me this question, like, what is the career growth in a smaller company, right? Career progression is undefined, right? So now
Mhm.
a bigger company coming into the smaller company also look for a career growth, right? So that is, you have to sit, you have to go to your plan, and you have to say, okay, this is, you lay down the plan, and call the promoters. And the important aspect here is, the biggest drawback is, here is culture fit.
Mhm.
If culture fit doesn't happen, if the culture, first thing is culture from this guy from a multinational company, and the people who are already there, that culture should make wonders. Yeah, these are the main challenges, are the person encounters.
There is another question which is
Yeah,
come
so
here.
financial stability, I would like to mention here. Now, a small company, now I wanted to hire one big guy. For example, if I want to hire a CEO to the, I want 5 lakh rupees, just for an example, just for discussion sake, I'm using this number, 5 lakh rupees. The promoter,
Mhm.
okay, the, okay, am I audible?
Yeah, you are breaking up at times, Dr. Bharat. I think there is some technical thing that we are seeing. Okay, and
Well,
yeah,
okay. So
yeah.
now I decide to hire a very senior person to the organization. My budget is fees. Okay, 6 months I can somehow bail out this guy, and within the 6 months he will settle down and year revenue. Then I'm 6, and my what, exhausted, and then I get frustrated. Then the relationship will break. So very important
Mhm.
is, financial stability is also important. and this person who commit should stick to his commit and make sure that the company doesn't get burdened with financial aspects. Yeah, this is very important. Which the
There is one this one
person
which
who
is
goes into the company or the guy from keep in mind.
one question from Mohan. It says, nice discussion. Then we have another question from Subramani Sampath. But I have been both in small and big companies. There are a lot of chaos in small
Okay.
companies and youngsters dread. So that what is the message to youngsters to overcome such opinion?
All I will say first, I work in a smaller company. I have
Yeah.
to fit into that culture. International company tomorrow, first you should be very successful here, because the smaller company will throw certain challenges. The speed has to be correct, customer engagement will be there here, right? And the entrepreneur culture. I always tell my people, hire a person, whether is a junior or has that entrepreneurial spirit, hire him. You know, all things the junior has to
Hmm.
accept it. Whether it's a junior or a senior, first thing is they have to accept the culture of this business they do. And you say, for example, if you don't pass first standard, you can't go to the second standard, right? Until unless you have some political background you have, right? So if the person, for example, I have seen this is happening today. The person is studying in 8th standard to syllabus. Many institutes are doing this because for them 10th standard is more important than the 8th standard. My question is, what if the person fails in 8th standard? There's no
Yeah.
whatever they are doing, Subramani,
Hmm.
they have to be successful in that. Then they will grow. There will be growth, whether in the same company, there will be growth, whether they want to grow in a multinational company. At least there should be something to tell the multinational company why they should hire this person, right? There should be some case study for him. Juniors should realize this first. Yeah, this is what I can say, Subramani.
Yeah, so I think with the this one we would like to take the final thing. What are the key? Sorry about it. Working. What is the inspiration insights that we can get when we focus on opportunities in small firms, Dr. Barat?
See, the inspiration here, the work, the speed of everything, is one thing which you learn, which lacks in multinational organization, right? And I always repeat in every questions, like, you will learn that. And today I'm an entrepreneur because of a small, because it will throw challenges at you. It will keep throwing. Every day is a new day. Every day there will
Yeah,
be some kiosk. Even though if it's not your mistake, sometimes you have to face it, right? These kind of
yeah,
challenges, I mean, the more tough you become, right? This is the beauty of a small organization. So I suggest everybody who are there, just which when you're working in a smaller organization, if you are able to face these challenges, it will work. It will in future, right? When you have your own team, when you become a manager, when you become an entrepreneur, you know how to face these challenges and problem. And if you go to a multinational company, you don't get an interaction with the customers. You'll be working in one
yeah,
small work. Okay, in a smaller company you will get exposure to everything. You will be meeting the customer, you'll be understanding the customer challenges, right? And sometimes you will only contribute to mitigate those challenges. And coming back to the organization, people are not joining your team. Management says that increase your team, how will increase the revenue. Every challenges you will handle it, but this will be missing in the multinational company. And it is something like, if you talk technically, the architect who works the engineer works in a smaller company will be exposed to architecture. The technical guy who is working in a bigger company will be working in one small area of that whole architecture. So now the person who get exposure to complete system, or the person who get a exposure to only one small thing. Imagine there is a new technology today. Artificial intelligence is taking away all my job. So now tell me who will survive? Will this multinational guy will survive, or the person who is working in a smaller company will survive? Right. So I hope this because the AI,
Yeah.
is not the answer for everything, right? So this is the best example in today's world. I can give.
Yeah. Yeah, you took a important point there, which says AI. See, AI cannot. Let's break one more myth while we speak about AI in the last few minutes that we have in the session. We are overboard up by a minute now. I'll just summarize saying that you have to look at small companies because there are larger number of small companies than the number of branded MNCs that are available in the market. The
Right.
variety of
The
jobs
backbone,
are more.
backbone of the economy.
And yeah, and as India is a startup hub, the large things are happening in India for most of the research and development that is happening, whether it is electronics, whether it is manufacturing, whether it is electrical and communication equipment, healthcare, any domain that you talk, we have large number of startups coming up. It's not only limited to IT now. There are people who are talking about healthcare for old age people. How do we give a service? That kind of a startups are what they are talking about, and there are a lot of community stuffs that are happening. As Dr. Bharat rightly said, there are a lot of opportunities. Only thing is that you'll have to search out and see. You start somewhere rather than not being looking for larger organizations. And after 6 months, you are not considered a fresher for us to start again. So with that, I think, Bharat, any last words that you want to say? Otherwise, I have summarized the pointers. You have any last minute words before we conclude the session?
I always believed in my career, if you don't dream, you don't grow. I used to write it in a pen on my shirt, pant, everywhere, and I used to get nice beatings from my father. For him, I've spoiled the dress. For me, it is a motivation. Always I used to write, if you don't dream, you don't grow. Right? So what I tell everybody, dream, right? Challenges are there everywhere,
Yeah,
right? When you have accept a
true.
challenge, you please stick to it and do it. And there is nothing called impossible. Whatever you're doing, it is
Hmm.
already done by somebody. It's not something new you're
Right,
creating, right? Even your competitor can do it, then why not you? If you think not growing and no, I will grow in another company, what you're going to do in other companies the same what this company is expecting from you to do it, right? Maybe you might get some
right,
little bit more salary there, but again you have to prove there also. If you don't prove there, again you will be always jump the company. They're performing, go to next company. Go, how long you'll keep running? Settle in a company at least for a 4 5 years. I mean, no, before we conclude, I just like to tell people 4 to 5 years for yourself. For yourself, don't give it to that company. You should have a roadmap for yourself. Okay, 6 months I want to grow. Years I'm going to grow this. 5 years I have to grow this company. Then people will call you. No need to prepare the profile also. People will call you. Hey, come and join my company. Come and join my. You have to bring that situation, right? If that situation can be managed, then you will be very very successful in the career. I wish all the best whoever has participated here. And sorry if anybody's question here. My LinkedIn, please send me an invite on my LinkedIn and send me a direct message on my LinkedIn. I'll be very happy to answer. Thank you so much, Prem, for having me here.
yeah. I am bringing up Dr. Bharat's LinkedIn profiles on the scroll. You can connect to Dr. Bharat here. With this, thank you for being part of the show, Bharat. It's been a great time talking to you. As always, this is the second episode that we are doing with you. It's always been insightful that how career can be treated and how recruitment is crucial for any organization is being emphasized in both the sessions that we had so far. Great to have you here, sir. Thank you for being here. With this, we would like to conclude our session. for today. Thank you for joining us today. We are on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter also. We hope the discussion was very useful for you. And if there is anything that, please comment on your this one to our channel, and we will be in a position to, with this event also, if we can have Dr. Bharat answer those questions for you. Our next podcast would be on 23rd, which is on people centric leadership, the balance of hard and soft skills, on 23rd at 6:30 p.m. same time. Looking forward to see you there. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you everyone for joining the show. With this, we would like to conclude the session. Thank you.
Thank you.